my point of view here.
Yeah,
Kanye West has been wronged. Okay, this is absolutely true. He has been wronged. We'll get into. He was medicated. He was institutionalized. He's been threatened. He was wronged. And I do think that he has valid reasons to be upset. And I think what people are missing now, people saying, oh, he should be able to say, sure, he should be able to say whatever he wants. And I don't necessarily know which portions, well, I shouldn't say I don't know. Every portion that I've heard, I can tell you which part is anti-Semitic or which part isn't. I don't know all of the comments that he's made. Let me put it that way. But Kanye West has been wronged, and the people right now who are supporting him saying, hey, he's being silenced for what he said, sure, I understand. But he's being wronged now. He's being wronged by a new set of people who are taking advantage of him, trying to say, look how wrong you've been in the past. But this matters because it might provide some context as to his mental state. So early November, he released some text messages. And all these references are available at loudscudder.com. His personal trainer, Harley Pasternak, I believe is how it's spelled, tried to have him committed. This is what the guy said. I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with kids just won't be the same. Okay, let me be really clear about something. That's the level of evil that warrants a face-to-face ass-kicking. Invoking the guy's children. And by the way, a lot of people, it's a very common fear of being locked up, of being institutionalized against your will. That is cruelty. And keep in mind, this is someone who has been hospitalized, allegedly against his will. And that does. Look, people use the term triggered or PTSD. Being locked up against your will and drugged out of your mind, that'll do it. That will do it. Let's go to 2016. Pasternak, there was a phone call that he made that resulted in Kanye West being hospitalized. And by the way, this is a guy, well, let's parse kind of the conspiracy theories versus reality. Pasternak, he experimented on Canadian soldiers on behalf of Canada's Department of National Defense. This is where some people have said MK Ultra. Wasn't able to substantiate that. That seems like it's more of a CIA American program. It is real, just to be clear. Yeah. But he did experiment on Canadian soldiers, and this does seem to be a man who is capable of cruelty and issued cruel threats. And this is someone who was probably mentally abusing Kanye West for a very significant amount of time. Here is this man talking about the experiments in an interview.
So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was, so I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not
Is he interviewing himself?
Everyday things. So we looked at a drug called modafinil, which was for narcoleptics. So if you give a soldier this drug, how long could they stay awake for without having any health detriment? It's very interesting. Modafinil, it will keep you awake,
Lance Armstrong,
but it's not a stimulant.
It looks like him.
So if a special forces person has to stay awake for 3 nights waiting for the right opportunity to do whatever they have to do, we could give them modafinil and it would keep them alert.
So this is a douchebag who's familiar with pharmacology, who has used it to experiment on soldiers and is threatening to use it against Kanye West, against his will.
Again. He's also helped people like Mac Miller, Ellen Page before she was Elliot. He's really been.
Brittany Murphy.
Why don't you, Brittany Murphy?
He's batting 100.
Yeah, go ahead and Google who this guy has helped.
Let me guess. Amy Winehouse.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For real.
That was just a guess. Really?
No, for real.
Oh,
Yes.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. Good guess.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
No, this guy. He's.
Elliot Smith.
Yeah.
See a trend?
Morrison.
Yeah, he cleans stuff up.
That guy in A Star Is Born. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
He's Luca Brasi. Let's be honest.
So here's the thing. Kanye West was wronged. He was used. Here's the thing. He's being used now. So there are a couple different theories as to what's been going. And this is just, some of this is going to be speculation. Hopefully I can present a case to you as to why. So remember, this is what happened. It was last week. There was Kanye West. He brought Nick Fuentes, Nicholas Fuentes, Milo Yiannopoulos to Mar-a-Lago for a dinner with Donald Trump. Okay. So that happened. By the way, hit the like button, hit share, because this is something that is being memory hold on YouTube, and we'll talk about Apple and Elon Musk. It's probably going to be a little bit longer of a show today, just to let you know. Here's the thing. So Kanye West has brought in someone like Milo and someone like Nick Fuentes. Now, the motivations there do matter. If you're a conservative, right? Let's say you like Donald Trump. Let's say you like Ron DeSantis. It doesn't really matter because these people, I would argue, want to destroy all of it. They don't want the conservative movement. They don't want Republicans to do well. They certainly don't want Trump to do well. There is a personal vendetta against Donald Trump with these individuals. So he brought these individuals to Mar-a-Lago, which was not vetted by Donald Trump, which I think was foolish.
Yeah.
I don't think you should let anyone in there and sit down with them for dinner. If their goal was to actually basically inflict damage on Donald Trump, well, then it's been incredibly effective because it's been a media cycle now for 3 days. And Milo Yiannopoulos has quite literally communicated in the past because he felt wronged his desire to take Donald Trump down. Here you go. Here's a quote. I lost everything helping put Trump in office. My life and career were completely destroyed. Was it worth it? No, I feel utterly betrayed. I will have vengeance. I am dedicating the rest of my life to the destruction of the Republican Party. Burn the Republican Party to the effing ground.
Jeez.
That seems pretty clear in motivation. So my question is then, okay, Kanye West, did he know or did he not know? But I think it would be pretty clear as to Milo Yiannopoulos' motives goading to Mar-a-Lago and goading Kanye West at this point. Kanye West is being, I believe, used as a pawn again, and you guys shouldn't be championing it because he says a couple of things that you like. The guy needs some help.
Yeah.
The guy needs some support, not from charlatans. Let's go down the list to this Nick Fuentes character. He once called Donald Trump cucked and he was very upset that Donald Trump disavowed white supremacy.
Yeah, for him to disavow white supremacy is very cucked and blue-pilled. You know, totally wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, why would a president do that?
Yeah, why would a president do so? For the same reasons that we liked him, where we said it was pretty clear that he said, I'm not talking about white supremacists who should be disavowed totally. Right? So I'm not talking about them. They were fine people on both sides. You do have people out there who actually hate that Donald Trump disavowed white supremacy. Is that you? Because if that's not you, if you like that Donald Trump disavowed white supremacy while saying there were fine people on both sides who supported at least recognizing our heritage with monuments that might have been a part of the Confederacy, and that there were liberals on the other side who had an argument to take them down. If you like the fact that Donald Trump actually messaged to both portions of the voting constituency while condemning white supremacy, if you like that, well, then you can't be in alignment with these guys.
Yeah. Well, and their whole intention, it seems, like you said, was just to be a disruptor, to go in. And obviously, we've kind of shown you some of Milo's tweets there, or I guess it was on Parler that he was saying those things, right? And he has obvious intentions. It drove conservatives away from Donald Trump.
Right.
Because now they're seeing Kanye go in and say, I'm running for office, I'm going to be president. Milo is the campaign manager, essentially, for Kanye right now.
Right.
I have no idea what Fuentes is doing anywhere near this group of people. But it is damaging the crap out of the Republican Party and out of Donald Trump just by having him there. And you said it right. That's a mistake on his part. If he is going to run an effective campaign to become president again of the United States, that kind of stuff can't happen.
Right.
Because it's very, very easy for those groups to just kind of walk up beside, and that's all the media needs.
And of course, if Ye, sorry, I almost did it again.
I know,
silly
Ye.
me. It's almost like all of this is stupid.
I know.
If Ye wants to be an effective president, he also has to do better than that. And just to be clear, I've had interactions with Milo, with Tim Pool. I haven't had any interactions with Nick Fuentes, but here is something that I will say. It's fine to have disagreements. Ben Shapiro and I have disagreements. I think that the internet is a better place, the world is a better place for someone like Ben Shapiro being out there than not being out there. Rand Paul and I have disagreements. I think that we are better off having a representative like him than not. Same thing with Ted Cruz, right? Certainly I would take him over Beto. So there can be disagreements. When there are people, though, in the movement whose only goal is to destroy with no intent of building, that's where you say, okay, this is a bad actor. That's where you say the term grifter. That's where you say this is a charlatan. So the only interaction that I have ever had with Nick Fuentes was we did a show, Gerald was there at Texas A&M. And at this point, I guess he was organizing a group called the Groypers. And their whole thing was going after anyone who they saw as cucked, like Donald Trump, disavowing white supremacy. And so we, have our tentacles in every group on Facebook, and we kind of keep tabs on people. And so we know that they were planning on coming and storming the Q&A session, kind of loading it up. Because I'm an open borders cuck, if you know anything about me. This was the argument for it. So what did happen, and this is my only interaction with, I guess, the followers of Nick Fuentes, was you were there actually organizing with Q&A. When we used to do Q&A, we'd say everyone who has a sort of a confrontational question, right, adversarial, go on this side, and then anyone who's a fan, this is the line, and we would go rotate. 1 and 1. Yeah, 1 and 1 so that no one just dominates the conversation.
Right, yeah.
And we knew because they sort of had like a hierarchy with, I guess, the Groypers,
Yeah.
who was going to go first and then follow up questions. And I think we actually have an overlay here from Texas A&M. Yeah, that was one of the gentlemen there with the cross because we knew
he was. I was standing right behind him, and the minute that somebody, and I'm not afraid of a cross, obviously, as a Christian,
Right,
it's
of
not a
course not.
problem. But the minute somebody holds it up like this and is like going to the crowd like this, I'm like, okay,
Right.
something's a little weird.
It's like
about
either
this.
you're
For
Carrie's
vampires.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right next
Yeah.
to him, and I'm like, I'm going to position myself between him and you.
Right. So what happened is we said, okay, line up here, line up there. They had their hierarchy, their ranks. And then last minute you said, oh, you know what? Actually, we're going to switch the
It was
lines.
Reg that did that. He
We're
switched
going to switch the
order.
lines. And now all of a sudden the leader was put to the back of the pack and the underling was put first. And just and was stammering. And you saw after we addressed the question, everyone else peel out. And we even saw their Groyper group afterwards. Like, did you see it? Tried to take down the cuck. Like, you do not consider yourself amongst us. You were a stuttering fool. You're a coward. Ban him from the group. So these people destroy themselves, and their only goal is to destroy. They've never done anything else other than destroy. They've not created anything. And right now they're destroying Kanye West.
Yeah.
He was wronged, and he's being wronged now.
Yeah.